Welcome to Sleep Story. Let the soothing cadence of a story weave through your consciousness, lulling your body to rest and your mind to tranquility as you drift into dreams on the wings of imagination.
Cao Ren was furious, so he raised his troops, crossed the river at night, wanting to flatten Xinye, and said single Fu victory back to the county. Said Zhuge. Cao Ren troops Fan Cheng now know that the two generals were executed. Will be up a large army to fight, Zhuge said. When what to meet it? Fu said. If they are all the troops to come, Fan Cheng is empty. You can take advantage of the capture. Zhuge asked the plan. Fu attached here Lo said so and so. Zhuge was very happy. The preparations have been set. Suddenly reported the horse reported that Cao Ren led the army across the river to come. Shan Fu said, "It is not what I expected." So he asked Zhuge to go out to meet the enemy. The two formations faced each other in a circle, and Zhao Yun came out of his horse to call his general to answer. Cao Ren ordered Li Dian to come out and fight with Zhao Yun. After about 10 rounds of battle, Li Dian was unable to defeat the enemy and turned his horse back to the battlefield. Yun chased after him with his horse, and the two flanks of the army shot and stopped. So each of them stopped their troops and returned to their strongholds. Li Dian returned to Cao Ren and said, "His army is elite, so we should not take the enemy lightly. So we might as well go back to Fan Cheng." Cao Ren was furious and said, "You are not out of the army. Has slowed down my army heart. Now again sold array. The crime should be beheaded. Then drink the sword," and axe hand launched Li Dian to be cut. All the generals bitterly told the party to be exempted. Was transferred. Li Dian led the rear army. Ren led his own troops for the front. The next day the drums march, set up a formation, so that people asked Zhuge said, "Know my formation." Single Fu will go up to the high place to watch by, said Zhuge said. This 8-door golden lock formation. 8 doors: hue, life, injury, do, jing, death, shock, open. If the door from the door of life, the door of the king, open the door and into the auspicious. From the door of injury, shock door, hue door and into the injury. From the door of the do, the dead and the people are dead, today. Although the 8 doors are neatly arranged, just the middle of the pass is not hosted. If from the southeast corner of the upper Shengmen hit people, to the west Jingmen and out, its formation will be chaotic. Zhuge passes the order. Teach the soldiers to hold the corner of the formation. Order Zhao Yun to lead 500 army from the southeast and enter, and go out to the west. The cloud was ordered. The gun-jumped horse. Lead troops to cast the southeast corner, shouting to kill into the army. Cao Ren then threw himself into the north and left. Yun did not chase, but protruded from the west gate, and killed from the west to come up from the southeast corner. Cao Ren's army was in chaos. Zhuge commanded the army to attack. Cao troops were defeated and retreated. Shan Fu ordered to stop chasing, and collected his army to return. Cao Ren lost a while, but believe in Li Dian's words. Because of the resumption of the classic discussion, said, Liu Bei's army will be able to. My formation was broken, Li Dian said. Although I am here, very worried about Fan Cheng, Cao Ren said. Tonight to rob the fortress. If you win, then plan. If not, then retreat back to Fan Cheng, Li Dian said. No, Liu Bei must be prepared, Ren said. If you are so suspicious, how can you use the army? So he did not listen to Li Dian's words. He led his army as the front group, and made Li Dian as the back supporter. and robbed the fortress at 2 o'clock that night. But it is said that Shan Fu is discussing with Zhuge in the fortress, and suddenly the letter wind suddenly rises. Fu said, "Tonight Cao Ren will come to rob the fortress." Zhuge said, "What can we do against him?" Fu laughed and said, "I have budgeted for it." So he made a secret distribution. To the second night, Cao Ren's soldiers will be close to the fortress, only to see the fortress surrounded by fire, burning the fortress fence. Cao Ren knew they were prepared and ordered them to retreat. Zhao Yun was not able to recover his troops and return to the fortress. Cao Ren did not have time to collect his troops and return to the fortress, and he hurriedly looked to the North River and left. When he arrived at the river, he was looking for a boat to cross the river when a group of soldiers arrived on the bank to kill him. The leader of the army was Zhong Fei, who was also the leader of the army. Cao Ren fought to the death, and Li Dian protected Cao Ren to get off the boat and cross the river. Half of Cao's army drowned in the water. Cao Ren crossed the river and ran to Fancheng on the bank, calling for the door. Just see the city a drum, a general to lead the army, and out, shouting, "I've taken Fancheng many times." The crowd was shocked to see. Is Guan Yunqiang also? Ren was so shocked that he turned his horse and left. Yun Chong chased and killed. Cao Ren unfolded a number of troops and horses. Story Nightcast Zukong. When he inquired on the road, he learnt that Shan Fu was his military advisor and had set up a plan for him. Cao Ren was defeated and returned to Zukong. Let's say that Zhuge won a great victory, led the army into Fancheng. County Magistrate Liu Yu welcome. Zhuge has settled down. That Liu Yu is Changsha people, but also the Han clan, so invited Zhuge to his home, set up a banquet. I saw a man standing at the side. Zhuge looked at the person's elegant, so he asked Yu said, "Who is this person?" Yu said, "This my nephew Cao Feng, Ben Luo Hoku's son also. Because of the death of both parents, so rely on this, Zhuge want to inherit as a son." Liu Yu readily complied. So Cao Feng worshipped Zhuge as his father, changed his name to Liu Feng. Zhuge brought back, make worship Yun Chong, Wingde as uncle. Yun Chong said, "Brother has a son, why use Lacewing? Later will be born chaos." Zhuge said, "I treat it like a son. He will serve me like a father. What chaos there?" Yun Chong was not happy. Zhuge and Shanfu plan. Make Zhao Yun lead 1,000 troops to guard Fancheng. Zhuge led the crowd back to Dinyi. Cao Ren and Li Dian went back to Zudu and met Cao Cao, sobbing and begging for forgiveness, saying that they had lost generals and troops. Cao Cao said, "Victory and defeat is a common military practice, but I don't know who draws the strategy for Liu Bei." Cao Ren said, "It is a single Fu's plan." Fuck said, "Single Fu who is also?" Cheng Yu said with a smile, "This is not a single Fu also. This person is young and good to learn fencing. In the end of the Ping years, tasted for people to avenge the murder of a man, hair coated face and go. For the officials were captured. Asked his name does not answer. The officials were tied to the car, beat the drums in the city. The city of the city people know. Although they are aware of the people who do not dare to say, and the companions of the theft of the rescue. Is more name and escape. Folding section to the school. Visit famous teachers. Tasted and Sima who it talk. This person is Ying Chuan Su Shu, word you on straight. Single Fu is its name here. Fuck said, Su Shu's talent. Then Jun Hao. You said, 10 times more than you. Fuck said, it is a pity that the wise man returned to Liu Bei. Feather wings into it. How are you said? Although Su Shu in his, the Prime Minister to use, call is not difficult, Caviar said. and get them to come back. You said, Su Shu for people to filial piety. Lost his father at a young age, but only have his mother in the hall. Now his brother Su Kong has died. No one to serve his mother. The Prime Minister can make people earn his mother to Zhu Kong, make a book to call his son. Then Su Shu will be to carry on. Fuck great joy. Make people starry night to go to get Su Shu mother. Not a day, fetch two. Fuck generous treatment. He said, I heard that your heir, Su Yuanzi, is a genius in the world. Now in Xinye, help the traitor Liu Bei, betrayed the court, is like a beautiful jade in the polluted mud, a real pity. Today, I trouble my mother to make a book, call back to Zudu. I in front of the Son of Heaven, there will be a heavy reward. So he ordered the left and right to hold over the 4 treasures, so that Zu's mother to make a book. Su mother said, Liu Bei how people. Caviar said, pay county juniors. The arrogance of Uncle Wonk, no faith, the so-called outside the gentleman and inside the villain also. Su mother said sternly, you wide the very much of falsehood. I have long heard that Zhuanda is Zhongshan Jing Wong after. Filial piety King Emperor His Excellency's grandson, bent under the shy, respectful of their own treating people. Benevolent sounds Su well known. The world of the yellow boy, white old man, pastor, woodcutter are aware of its name. Really when the world's heroes also, my son to assist, get his master carry on. Though you are interested with the name of the Han minister, is really a Han thief. Is the opposite of Zhuanda as a rebellious minister. Want to make my few back to the dark, not self-shame. Said, take the stone ink stone will hit Cao Cao. Cao Cao was furious, shouted at the samurai to execute Su mother out. Will be beheaded. Cheng Yu anxious to stop. Into the advice of Cao Cao said, Su mother disobeyed the Prime Minister, want to seek death. If the Prime Minister kills it, it will invite the name of injustice, and become the virtue of Zu's mother. Su mother is dead. Su Shu will be dead to help Liu Bei to revenge carry on. Might as well stay. So that Su Shu body and mind in 2 places, even if to help Liu Bei, but also do not try their best, and stay Su mother in. Yu has its own plan, to earn Su Shu to this, to assist the Prime Minister. Cao ran his words, so not to kill Su mother, sent to a different room to raise. Cheng Yu day-to-day greetings, fraudulently said that had been with Su Shu as a brother, treating Su mother as a mother. From time to time to send objects, must have handwritten. Zu's mother also made a handwritten reply. Cheng Yu earned Su mother's handwriting, is imitation of its font, fraudulently repair a letter home, sent to beloved people. Holding the book and ran to Xinye County, looking for single full line of curtains. The sergeant introduced him to Su Shu. Shu knew that his mother had a letter to the family, and urgently called in to ask about it. He said, I am a pawn under the pavilion, and I have a letter to accompany my old lady's words. Shu opened the seal to see. The book said, nearly your brother Kong mourning, no relatives, is sad. Not expected Cao Prime Minister to make people earn to Zhu Kong. Said you backlash, under me in bondage, rely on Cheng Yu and other relief. If you surrender, you can save me from death. If the book to the day, you can remember the kindness of the effort, starry night to come, in order to complete the filial piety, and then return to their homeland, to avoid the catastrophe. My life is hanging by a thread, and I hope to be rescued. I have no further instructions. Su Shu read it, tears like a spring. Holding the book to seize one said, I was Ying Chuan Su Shu, the word Yuan Zi, for the escape, more list of blessings. I heard that Liu Jing Sheng recruiting, special to see, and discuss things with. Fang Zi's useless people, so make a book to say goodbye. He went to Sima Shui Jing's house at night, and told him about it. Shui Jing deeply blamed Shu for not knowing the Lord, and said that Zhuge was here. So why didn't he do something about it? He said that Zhuge was here. So why didn't he serve him? Therefore, he sang a wild song in the market to move the ambassador. Fortunately, he was not abandoned, and he was given a new job. However, my mother had been tricked by Cao Cao and was imprisoned in Zhuge, where she was to be harmed. My mother's handwritten letter is calling me, so I can't afford not to go. It is not that I don't want to do my duty as a dog and horse to repay your excellency. However, I can't do my best because my parents are being held captive. Today, I will tell you to go back. Let's try to meet later. Yuan cried out when he heard the words, the son and mother of the relatives of nature. Yuan is not prepared for the idea. After meeting with the old lady, I may be able to teach her again. Su Shu then thank you want to go, Yuan said, begging for another night of gathering. The next day farewell, Sun Qian said to Yuan is a genius in the world. He has been in Dinyi for a long time, and he knows all the facts and figures in my army. Today, if the return to Cao Cao will certainly reuse my danger, the Lord should be bitter to stay. Do not let go. When Cao Cao sees that Yuan won't go, he will behead his mother. If Yuan knows his mother is dead, he will avenge her death. Forced to attack Cao Cao also, Yuan said, no, it is unkind to make someone kill his mother while I use his son. It is also unrighteous to keep him and not let him go, so as to cut off his son's and mother's way. I would rather die than do something unkind and unrighteous, all lamented. Yuan invited Su Shu to drink wine. Shu said, I heard that my mother was imprisoned. Although the golden wave and jade liquid cannot swallow, Yuan said, I heard that the public will go, such as the loss of right and left hands, although the dragon liver and phoenix marrow, but also not sweet taste, to people relative to each other and weeping, sitting and waiting for the day. The generals have already arranged a farewell banquet outside of Guo. Zhuanda and Su Shu and horses out of the city, to the long pavilion, dismounted to say goodbye. Zhuanda raised his cup and said to Su Shu, I am not able to meet with you because of my shallow destiny. I hope that you will serve the new master well. In order to succeed in the name, Su Shu sobbed and said, I have little talent and little wisdom, and I am deeply grateful to you for relying on me. It is unfortunate that I have to leave you in the middle of the journey because of my mother. Even if Cao Cao were to force me to do so, I would not make a single plan for the rest of my life. Yuan said, if you go, Liu Bei will also disappear to the mountains and forests. Shu said, I sow with the king of the king's career. Rely on this square inch here. Now to the old mother's sake. Square inch mess, even if here, no good for the matter. So that you should not seek a high sage to assist, and work together to achieve a great cause. Why is it so discouraged? Yuan said, the world's high sage, there is no one out of Mr. Right, Shu said. A Simaru Basia mediocre talent, how dare to take this reputation, Yuan said. Because it prevents me from seeing Su Yuanji's eyes. When I was looking at it, I suddenly saw Su Shu patting his horse and returning. Yuan said, Yuan straight back, is not no intention to go. Then he gladly shot his horse forward to meet the question. Mister, this back, there must be an idea. Shu Le horse said. Yuan said, a certain because of the mind like, forget a word. There is a strange man, only in the Xiangyang city, outside 20 miles in Longzhong. Why don't you ask for it? Yuan said. I dare to trouble Yuan to invite him for Bei, Shu said. This person is not to be given up. You can personally go to ask for it. If you get this person, it is the same as Zhou gets LV Wong. Hong get Zhongliang also, Yuan said. How is this person more talented and virtuous than you? Shu said. to a certain comparison. It is like an incompetent horse and unicorn, cold crow with Luanfeng ear. This man has always compared himself to Guanzhong, Lei. In my view, Guan Lei is not as good as this man. This person has the talent of heaven and earth, cover the world a person also. Yuan said, I would like to hear the name of this person. Xu said, this person is Luangya Yangdu people. Overlay surname Zhuge, name Liang, word Kongming, is the Han Sili Lieutenant Zhuge Feng after. His father's name is Gui, word Zigong, for the Taishan County Chancellor, died early, bright from his uncle Yuan. His father was Gui, Zigong, who was the Prime Minister of Taishan County and died early. After Yuan's death, Liang and his brother Zhuge Jun ploughed in Nanyang. He was a good writer of Liang Fu Yin. The place where he lived was called Wolongon, so he called himself Mr. Wolong. This person is an extraordinary talent, so you should meet him in vain. If this person is willing to assist, why worrying about the world is uncertain? Yuan said. In the past, Mr. Water and Mirror once said, Crouching Dragon, Feng Daisy. To people get one, the world can be secured. Today, the cloud is not that Fu Long, Feng Daisy. Xu said, the Phoenix chick is Xionggang Pangtong, Fu Dong is Zhuge Kongming. Yuan said enthusiastically, today, I know the words of Fu Long and Feng Daisy. Why is the great sage only in the present, not the words of the gentleman? I have eyes like a blind also. Later generations have praised Xu. Horse recommend Zhuge Po and said, Hey Tai sage no longer meet, Lynchy sob goodbye to love thick. A few words, however, seem to be like a spring thunderbolt, and could make the Nanyang rise a crouching dragon. Xu recommended Kongming, and then farewell to Zhuanda, steering his horse and go. Zhuanda heard Xu's words, the square realization of Sima Dikao's words, like a drunken party, like a dream. Lead the generals back to the new world. We'll have thick coins. With Guan Zhong went to Nanyang please Kongming, and said Xu both goodbye Zhuandi, feeling the feeling of its stay. Fear that Kongming refused to come out of the mountain to assist, so ride a horse until under the Wolongang, into the hut to see Kongming. Kongming asked his intention. Xu said, Xu would have liked to serve Liu Yuzhou. 9 mother 4 cow imprisoned. Chi Xu to call, I had to give up and go. When I was leaving, I recommended him to Zhuanda. Zhuanda will come to pay his respects. I hope that the public do not put off the obstruction. That is, show the great talent of his life to assist. Fortunate. Kongming said, Due to me, for the enjoyment of the sacrifice of sacrifice, said, whisking his sleeve and enter. Xu was ashamed and retired. On the horse hastened to go to Zukong to see his mother. It is exactly the same. I asked my friend to say one word, because I love my master, and I went home 4,000 of miles, because I miss my relatives. I don't know what will happen after that. I will see below.